All right, welcome back, everybody. Automotive Inc. here. Before we get rolling on this oldie but goodie, go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me. Subscribing is free. It does help the channel out. I am a small channel still, so if you wouldn't mind doing that at the end, notification bell, and thumbs up if you don't mind. Now, we have great content coming shortly after the first week of January. We've got some really cool stuff, so you don't want to miss that. I can't let the cat out of the bag because I don't want other people to get my ideas and run with it. So anyway, so today I am in, if you guys remember back, about that 2008 D-Max, one owner, and we were going to run it against the gassers this last summer, but that didn't work out, or the summer before, I guess. So today we're moving some furniture, and I wanted to get back in the seat, because if you guys didn't know, my son bought this truck from me. He's had it for about 2 years. It is up for sale if anybody's interested in a very nice LTZ extended cab 1-ton dually. You can always reach out to me. It is here in Colorado, so you have to make a jog if you're not local. But the LMM is the one pre-def, so if you guys remember that. My pops' truck is a 11, and it's a def LML. And the LMM didn't come with a built-in factory exhaust brake, but it did have the really good Allison in it, the old 6-speed. Very venerable and everything like that, very tough. Now, that being said, I want to get back in this truck. He's had it for 2 years. I think if I remember right, we got it with like 52,000 miles. Now it has 73,809, so very low mileage for this year of truck. And if you guys do your research, even though this does have a diesel particulate filter, so instead of using DEF, it uses a diesel injector to do the DPF regens. These trucks, if you follow the maintenance and follow the rules of it, you know, when it needs a regen, you gotta let it regen. These trucks run about 500,000 miles with proper maintenance. So the LMM was a very short run Duramax because they brought DEF into the picture, but very good trucks. So let's take a look around this bad boy. So inside here, guys, we got the what they called it, pure luxury interior. There is another interior you could have got, a little bit more square dash. Listen, we got 73,809. Now that's just the way the LEDs look in these older GM trucks. They sometimes on the camera they look a little hazy, but you know, we've done not too much to it. It's not been tuned or chipped or anything. He did put a Banks little information pod up there so you guys can see, you know, battery level, EGT boost, stuff like that. It's a pretty inexpensive thing. I can link that down in the description below. You can add this pretty much to any gas or diesel truck if you want. Obviously, gas won't have some of those things on them like boost and whatnot, but pretty cool little thing. You can see up there, Loki's up front hauling the other furniture, letting him drive that bad boy. I love getting in the seat of these old Duramaxes. The seats are so comfortable. It's a good looking truck. We got some tan in here. So, and of course all the fake burled wood. But all in all, I mean, this year of GM truck was notorious for the cracks in the dash. It does have a couple little cracks that we're going to try and get those repaired. You can skin it. But really, I mean, at the end of the day, like I've told you guys, if you don't want to spend $100 grand on a truck, you can find yourself, if you look hard enough, you can find these older Duramaxes, and they do really good. Now, keeping in mind, this 1-ton dually, even though it has beefed up air suspension and all that stuff, it is not rated as high of towing as Loki, being an F250 with the payload package upgrade. But what you can experience with this older truck is a lot less of a payment, a lot less of outward cost, and you know, longevity. Obviously, you know, if you don't want to mess with the DEF and stuff, you know, it's a smooth riding truck for this era, and you know, at the end of the day, it's got lots of power. I mean, it's got more power than what the truck's rated at for sure, and it's just a real fun thing to drive. Fuel economy on this bad boy was right around 14-15, but because again it has the low rear end in it, tons of weight. I mean, this thing is so beefy the way it's built up. It's originally built for an overhead camper, and yeah, we'll get to driving it here in just a second. Check out some boost stuff and everything. As you can see down there, we got our I think this was a Air Max air system in it, so you can, it has a compressor in it. You can automatically do it. But you know, if you take care of these GM trucks, this paint stuff won't wear off the things. Now this is a Taurus. These were silver, and so we got them all cleaned up and polished out black. So you know, it's a piano black, so it's going to fingerprint a little bit more. But I mean, just look at the simplicity of this. I mean, there is an aftermarket head unit in it to work with the bows, and obviously so has a backup camera. But I mean, just like driving my dad's 11, you know, this thing, sometimes it's just nice to not have so much stuff. You know, you still want comfortable seats. Yeah, you want a good stereo. You want the information at hand. You got it. You know, but at the end of the day, just the simplicity of this thing is actually really nice. You know, and being a one-ton dually, it does ride pretty good. I think GM trucks ride the best. I've ridden in some one-ton dually Fords and Rams. They are very stiff and a little bit rough riding. So we can see right there, if I kind of dig into the throttle, not a ton. I'm gonna romp on this thing. Creates good boost. And good EGT temperatures. But I mean, considering that this truck doesn't have that many miles on it, but overall, I mean, you can see that it's held up over the years. I mean, it all comes down to maintenance, how you take care of stuff. And like I tell people all the time, if the turbo whistle is your thing, the newer GM trucks really have none. This really has a good exhaust note. We put an MBRP, basically DPF back exhaust tip on there instead of the bazooka one, because the other one had broke off and the studs were basically just welded in there with rust and heat. And so we swapped that out. But I mean, no performance. But these older Duramaxes, you can actually hear the turbo spool. You can hear, you know, that growl of the exhaust. Newer ones, not so much. And so if you're a diesel fanatic and like it, you can do a few things to make those diesels louder. But I mean, these older Duramaxes really were good trucks and rode really nice, get the job done. You know, you fast forward to 11 on my dad's 3/4 ton short bed, and it's actually rated to tow more than this truck, oddly enough. But when you get a 1-ton dually, obviously you're getting it probably for the payload in addition to the towing. And this truck, I think, if I remember right, is rated right around 6,300 pounds of payload. So that is some juice for sure. But I mean, for the era, you know, is this a good truck? Absolutely. If you can get your hands on one, I probably wouldn't buy one with 500,000 miles on it. It's probably getting ready for some major work. But something like this, if you could find one and it fits your towing weight and needs, and you don't need all the crazy safety tech, then you can put a different head unit, get backup cameras, cab cameras, all that stuff. There's lots of that on the market. And you know, this thing just rides really good for being a 1-ton dually. We'll do a walk around of the exterior here in just a few minutes. But the real reason why I wanted to drive it today was, one, I like driving these older trucks. But two, it just kind of, again, rings in your ear, or should, when you're looking for, you know, you're upgrading, you need more towing capacity, you think you want diesel, and you look at a sticker shock of a new GM or whatever, and then you're kind of puzzled with all of these, which Duramax is best, which year is best, you know. And really, at the end of the day, I think pretty much all of them are just fine. You know, there's some Power Strokes people said they should stay away from, but I had those years and they were great trucks. So I don't really ring true to that. I think it comes down to proper maintenance on any of these. And obviously, in these earlier models, when it needs a regen, you run the regen. You get on the highway, you drive it out, you do whatever you got to do. You don't just be like, I'm done for the day, I think I'll just go park it. That's really bad. In addition to that, I've mentioned this before too. If you're driving with these and you're pulling a load and you've got that turbo nice and heated up and it's, you know, been doing stuff, even if it's just a normal drive, let that turbo cool off before you shut it down. Meaning, you get home, all you did was drive at 60 miles on the highway, let it run for 2 minutes, man. Let everything kind of cool down and then shut it off. So, but again, when you go back and look at sticker price of everything, and you're thinking, dang, I think I need a diesel, or I really want a diesel. Well, unless you just really need all the tech and stuff, I would seriously take a look and and just watch to find one of these trucks, a real true gem, low mileage, been well taken care of, and score it for anywhere between, you know, the market's kind of crazy. You can probably get this truck for around 40-ish, maybe a little bit less, versus 100. Or even if you're looking at a work truck Power Stroke with nothing in it, this year truck would be equally as nice, if not nicer, because of all the nice stuff in it. And you're going to probably still spend close to 65, 70. So you really have to weigh where your budget's at, forecast for the future. But really, at the end of the day, you got to think about looking at these if you don't want to spend that kind of cash. Tons of power, tons of capability, good riding truck, very simple, less crap to break. Yeah, about that. Otherwise, guys, I always appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to do a little walk around of this big bad boy, kind of show you a few things. So we'll see you in a second. So as promised, there is the outside of Sentinel again. Like I said, it's one of the best looking eras of the Chevy as far as I'm concerned. Bad boy D-Max. There's a little MBRP thing we put on there. And then look at this leaf pack on here. I mean, this thing is built up. It's never towed a fifth wheel, but we put those plates in anticipation of it. And then did some aftermarket taillights, just kind of clean it up and everything like that. All right, guys, I always appreciate y'all being here and checking in on the oldie but goodie. Just a little fun little drive video today. We'll catch you on the next one.